All right, so let's get started. Big news. Yu Darvish has finally signed a contract with the Cubs.
Wait, I got one for us. That's,
yeah. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Is it the wah-wah? Is it a sad trombone, or is it? There's a lot of fans who aren't too happy about Game 7 still, and they're happy to see him go. I mean, I'm somebody we needed that rotational depth. Absolutely, you had that's a bona fide number 2, at the very least. I guess. Well, he's still going to be a 2 in Chicago. I mean, he's a damn good pitcher, and he got paid definitely less than you would have expected for market value at a $21 million a year. It averages out to. He got the 6-year. For those who don't know, if you've been living under a rock, 6-year, $126 million contract, and that's not too bad.
No, that's not too bad, but they definitely overpaid for him. And here's my thing is I kind of disagree, where I get that he would add some rotational depth. But my issue is that we already have guys like Walker Buehler. We have Julio Urias. We have, we've got Stewart. We've got Wilmer Font. We've got guys who are going to be really good. They're really young. They're coming up right now. And I think this is the time where we want to really bring them in rather than spending, 6 years and a whole lot of money on an aging Yu Darvish who just completely crapped the bed in the World Series. And I will never forgive him for that.
Twice shat bed.
The number on that was 9 runs in in 10 outs. Yeah, that's what he did.
That pays
in
you
the World Series.
$21 million a year.
I could do that.
You know what? I'm gonna sign you significantly less. I'll give you maybe 3 cheeseburgers.
I'll take the 3 cheeseburgers.
Yeah, there's a really good deal going on at Carl's Jr. right now. So not sponsored by Carl's Jr., but we're always ready and willing.
we're ready for you, Carl's Jr. or Hardee's, wherever you are.
But yeah, digging more into the Darvish contract. I mean, there's one of the big things that nowadays everybody wants an opt out. Everybody wants their no trade, and of course that average annual value. That's the big thing. That when you're looking at the whole payroll for the year, that's the big one that you can't backload contracts anymore. And I think we spoke about it a bit last time, but
the Frank McCourt special.
Yeah, the Ned Colletti special right here. So we have the incentive. So he gets $2 million, an extra $2 million for each Cy Young he'll win, and $1 million for top 5 finish, which is not too bad. But the NL is definitely that'll be kind of tough for him to get. Or I don't know, tough. He has competition in his own rotation with John Lester.
True.
The opt-out
Lester
in 2 years.
Molester.
In 2 years, I guess, 2 full seasons. 2019, he has an opt-out. I don't know what the market's going to look like then, but that's always good to get it by 2-3 years in. And the no trade language, it hasn't been officially thrown out there, but it's full no trade. I'm assuming through at least the opt out, and then afterwards it's a 12-team list that I'm sure he built together or whatever. I don't know how that works.
Okay.
Hashtag not an agent. You're the agent here.
I am the agent. Not really an agent. So there was a Dodger Nation poll on Twitter. And that was regarding, are you sad to see him leave? Essentially, what were the numbers on that one?
I think most outlets you're seeing it's pretty split right now. People after the signing, a lot more people. The poll was out before he had signed, so people are going to be a little bit more open to him coming back home, if you will.
Yeah.
But after that, of course, lover spurned or whatever, lover scorned.
We didn't need him anyways.
Yeah.
That happened actually.
He's a bum.
I remember that a couple years ago with Zach Greinke. It was we need him back, and then it was we don't need him. We've got Kershaw. That was too much money.
Bum.
Yeah, he's a bum. He's just gonna suck from now on. All of that kind of stuff. All right. So what does that mean? What does that mean for LA in regards to in-house options or a backup plan?
Yeah, the backup plan really. I mean, you already touched on it there. You have Walker Buehler. He's 24, entering his age 25 season.
Lots of talent.
This is his year to pick up innings because he's old enough. He's already mature enough body-wise to get somewhere in his major league career. So now's his time. Look, and they're going to afford him every opportunity in spring training to win a rotation spot because there's talent, but there's definitely question marks. You have Kershaw, Hill, and then Wood. Rich Hill hasn't pitched. I think it's more than 137 innings since like 2011. So it's a long time to expect a lot.
Although he's only got like 4 years of like full-time major league experience under his belt, despite the fact that he's 60.
Pretty much. And then, you could say kind of the same thing about Wood, but much younger Wood.
Yes. Giggity.
Giggity. He put together, he's always been good, but he's had health concerns and he's also had just performance concerns or whatever with it's a herky jerky, as Vin would say, all elbows and kneecaps coming at you in a way.
Yeah.
That if I was teaching my kid to play the sports, absolutely.
Yes.
That's not what you do. Do not do that.
Because you'll end up with a Tim Lincecum where you have a couple of great years if you have a lot of talent, but you end up going to retirement pretty quickly.
Wait, tell me, he's making his, I think this is his Mark Pryor tying, what do they call right now? The showcase. He has another showcase coming up, I think, on Thursday. Dodgers will be there.
With the Hiroshima Carp?
He's working out at Driveline Baseball now, so he's got all of the exit velos and all the newfangled things that the kids are into that they're teaching in kindergarten. Spin rate.
Yes, absolutely.
You gotta love you some spin rate.
Kindergartners and 5-year-olds love spin rate. They're big on talking about spin rate. So here's the other big question, and this is kind of the elephant in the room. I'm not talking about you. This, I love you. This is the elephant in the room, essentially. Jake Arrieta. So what happens there with Jake Arrieta? Is that someone the Dodgers are going to pursue, or is he going to also be too expensive?
Well, that was one of the big things. Like I'm very frequent on the MLB trade rumors website. I'll look at Twitter.
Oh, I love that website.
Twitter's a great spot to find out the latest breaking things in almost any sports.
Yeah. And Dodger Blues is great too.
Dodger Blues basically retired. Dodger Nation.
I'm sorry, Dodger Nation.
They're on.
Dodger
on
Blues is good for the Twitter when you want a humorous slant on things.
Oh, I miss Dodger Blues. Those are the good old days. Yeah, you got some great blogs out there now too.
Yeah,
but
that guy was so angry though. It was hilarious. He was so mad all the time. He was my kind of fan. It was just anytime they did something wrong, he wanted everybody traded, he wanted everybody fired. He was positive we're never going to win another World Series. All of his childhood memories were just disappointment, Joe Morgan, it was a great website.
Yeah, but getting back into Arrieta, like I'm kind of surprised you really haven't seen much of a market or at least any whispers about it. People aren't looking at Jake Arrieta as a viable option. It really looks like even the Chicago Cubs didn't look at Jake Arrieta as a viable option. I was reading a tweet about that, how if the team that you're coming from, you have a long tenure of success with them, if they're not really trying to bring you back, that's got to be kind of indicative of where you're at, either as a clubhouse guy or maybe your health. You don't know if he's breaking down, because again, that's another. I mean, he's
32 years old.
He's older. He throws over the body. He has that crossfire action going. So I mean, there's a lot of pressure on the elbow, whatever shoulder. I mean, there's a lot of problems. But yeah, I mean, you have Arrieta as a guy that's still out there. Of course, he has the qualifying offer attached to him. You have somebody else like Alex Cobb. That's another one of the big free agents. He's going for a lot of money, but he's another one. I mean, you see a little bit more stir for him. I don't see him in LA. I really don't see anybody with a qualifying offer in LA.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, and that's been the thing this year is the Dodgers front office is big on keeping payroll down. And I don't see them spending big on anything. The only real scenario where I see it is a trade somewhere near the trade deadline if Matt Kemp has made himself into a serviceable hitter at least. I know he's lost a lot of weight going into the offseason, but that could mean anything. Those hips aren't. I mean, it's great, for the hips because it's putting less. Yeah. Those hips don't lie.
They might be lying.
He's putting less strain on those hips, which is great. But he needs to show that he can hit at a consistent level and not be a clubhouse distraction. And at that point, the Dodgers can actually move him to a potential contender.
Well, I mean, unless he's coming up, with big hits off the bench or whatever he's going to be doing, that's going to be another big question for Dave Roberts. He's got a lot to sort through in that outfield. He's got a healthy Andrew Toles and all that, but that trade deadline, that's one of the big reasons why we've tried to keep so low under that payroll.
Yeah.
What is it?
197.
The tax threshold. There it is.
Yeah.
Because you do want to be able to add to your team come trade deadline, and if you don't have the money available, you can't really do much, and that's when you could really address it and assess your team at that point.
Absolutely.
Another guy I'm looking at as I can see him as a decent enough option, and I think it's a good career move for him is Andrew Kashner, who had a good year.
He also had a qualifying offer attached to him.
He did not.
He? Oh,
Kashner does not. Kashner does not. He had a good year last year. His first really good year. He had let's look at stats here. We got 4.6 wins above replacement, which is really good for a pitcher. He went 11-11, but also that does kind of make up for more than half of his 8.7 career WAR in 8 seasons. So, a
little tougher.
Yeah, he went into the offseason looking for I think it was a 3-year deal, and homie, you ain't getting that right now. So come to LA, let Rick Honeycutt fix you, and maybe get paid next season.
Yeah.
That would be nice for you, right?
1-year deal.
Yeah, we like getting paid.
And if you can't handle the starting job, you can always go to the bullpen and be this year's Brendan Morrow.
I'll take it.
I will too.
I will take it. One last guy on the free agent market, the big name, Lance Lynn, who I think is a really underrated pitcher, but unfortunately doesn't have, or he has that qualifying offer attached to him, which again rules him out for a lot of the big markets right now because everybody's trying to draft from within.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It looks like we're gonna really need to air quote here settle in a way. We have Bueller, he's pretty much ready. Urias should be good by the trade deadline or so. Yeah, and
maybe even before that. Actually, from what I hear, he's really advancing.
I think it's late May thereabout.
Okay,
that he could be big league ready.
Awesome,
but he's not going to be super built up at that point. So don't expect the 7-inning outing out of him, even though he's not really that guy. He hasn't proven to be that guy. Wilmer Font is, I know, a name that you've been kind of high on in the past. And
I'm a big fan of Wilmer Font. I think he's got all the talent in the world. And granted, he's a little bit older.
Said so few people in their lives.
No, you're thinking of Wilmer Valderrama. That's a little different. I
was actually thinking of Wilma from the Flintstones.
Oh, yes. Oh,
yeah,
Wilma, I love you.
She was kind of mean. But my sleeper for that, I'd say that 6th spot in the rotation in a way. I'm looking for a lot out of Brock this season. Brock Stewart, give me 12 wins. Give me 12 wins. That's what I want.
I like it.